Hey guys, I haven't done a vlog in a while and I keep forgetting to do this particular one. And honestly, it wasn't something I was going to post about, but I don't actually know where to go next with this, so I figure since I have a pretty good influence on YouTube, we'd start there. I don't know how many of you heard about the issues facing Amazon Prime customers of late. But my wife and I got caught up in that, and so I just wanted to make a video basically saying what happened to us and the steps we took to try to remedy it, and it still isn't fixed, and Amazon is not, they're typically known for their good customer service, so they need to do something about this. So we've been Prime customers since 2011, I think, and we've had an Amazon account, both of us separately, since 2002. Long time. I think I bought from Amazon maybe even when I was still in high school back in the 90s. I don't remember if they were around, but I know I bought from them early on. And we do a lot of our household shopping on Prime. We buy a lot of my music gear, parts that I need, light bulbs. It's my number one source for light bulbs. Pots and pans, beauty stuff, coffee, if a lot of stuff. And I always price check Amazon and eBay before I buy something in the stores, and vice versa. I think I tallied it up one time, and we spent something like, I don't remember now, I have the information somewhere, but we'd spent something like $10,000 a year or something like that on Amazon Prime, or maybe it was $10,000 over a certain number of years. But way more money than I thought you would spend. We use it. I would say we check Amazon first before we buy anything. And my wife used to do something called Amazon Review Trader, which was a program they used to offer where you could get discounted products in exchange for reviewing them. And then Amazon changed their rules to make that against the rules to, get anything in exchange for reviews. And they discontinued that promotion, the Review Trader thing. So since then we've just, bought stuff and reviewed it. I always tried to leave a review for anything we bought just to help other customers and stuff like that. And one time I went on there to try to do that, and literally all of our reviews had been deleted. And so I wrote Amazon, because normally the best way to get a response from them is to do the live chat thing, and they're like, oh, we don't know what's going on, but we'll escalate it and we'll figure it out, and somebody will give you a call. And no one gave me a call. And try it again. They're like, oh, we can't figure it out, but we'll so on and so forth. So I eventually called in, and they're like, yeah, we'll try to get to the bottom of it. And no one ever gave me a good answer. And so eventually I asked my brother, because I have a brother who actually works at Amazon. He doesn't work anywhere in customer service. Otherwise, I'm sure he could probably do something. But I asked him, I said, what's the best way to get a response to something like this? And he said, email Jeff Bezos. And he has executive aides that read his emails and try to follow up with any issues. And so I did that, and I got a form letter back that said that we had violated the terms of service by, I can't remember what exactly they said, something that we had received, somebody had paid us to do reviews, or we had received discounts in exchange for reviews, or something like that. And nothing that we had done since the Review Trader program. Since they changed their rules. And so we replied back and said, what are you talking about? We don't. Oh, no, the other thing was that you work for a company of a product you reviewed, which of course is crazy. Neither of us work for, any companies that sell on Amazon. I replied back and said, you're wrong. We don't do any of those things. We haven't done anything even remotely similar to that since the Review Trader program, which was, through Amazon and all that. And, nobody replied, tried again, got the same form letter back, and then of course it hit the news. I can't remember which happened first. There was a news report that came out that apparently this was happening to a lot of people and their accounts were getting deleted. So I read the article and I shared it on Facebook, and I mentioned it to my brother, who hadn't even heard about it despite working at Amazon. So we, and then at some point we went on to make a purchase, and our account still existed, but we were no longer Prime customers, and all of our gift cards were gone, and all of our, like, we had some balance and stuff like that, you know, that we'd had from like gift card balance and promotional credits and stuff like that, and all of that was gone. And so I live chatted with somebody again, and they're like, well, you canceled your account. And we're like, no, we didn't. You know, they didn't delete our account, but they canceled it. And so they reinstated our account, but they didn't reinstate the gift card balance. They didn't reinstate they reinstated one $5 promotional credit, because that was the only one that I could find evidence of. I still had the chat with the person that provided it, and, you know, that was the only, and they, you know, and they didn't reinstate our reviews. And so there's some Facebook groups for Amazon. One of them is like class action lawsuit against Amazon, and another one is something else similar to that. So I posted in there, and everybody else is like, oh yeah, this happened to me, you know, were you doing reviews in exchange for money or whatever? Because I was, and I was like, no, we weren't. We did the review trader thing back when that was, you know, not against the rules, but we haven't done anything since then. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Anyhow, people on there were saying, hey, I filed a claim with the Better Business Bureau, and then after that, they reinstated. So I said, okay, well, let me try that. So I filed a claim with the Better Business Bureau, and I got a response from somebody right away, and they said, hey, we've reinstated your reviews. Let us know if you have any other questions, you know, and close the Better Business Bureau case. So I looked, and they'd reinstated most of the reviews. There was a small section right around the time when they changed their reviewing rules, that I think they were from before that, actually. I think they were maybe from like the year leading up to that, because it was like 2016, that they hadn't put back. And I was like, okay, well, they're missing, but, you know, not the end of the world. And I went to go and review some products that we'd purchased recently, and I reviewed a bunch of them, and then several products it still wouldn't let me review. And when I went to review that product, it said your previous review of this product violated our rules or terms of service or whatever it is. So you're not allowed to review it anymore. And they were all products that I'd never reviewed before. So I replied back to the email and said, what's going on? You know, these reviews are still missing, and I've tried to review certain products, and it says that I can't because we violated the rules, but we've never even reviewed these products before. You know, and they were all, I think, LED light bulbs. And I said, you can look and see. We don't work for this company. We paid for these with our credit card. Like, you can check to see that all of these were, you know, were legitimate purchases. And next thing I know, they deleted all the reviews again. And they still didn't return our gift card balance and promotional credits and stuff like that, except for the $5. So, but yeah, next thing I knew, all the reviews were deleted again. And I said, what's going on? Like, you fixed it and then you unfixed it, but not completely, and then you unfixed it. And the person replied, the same person that had given me a helpful email before replied with the same form letter. You violated the review, whatever. We're not going to reply to this email, blah, blah, blah. And so, and I replied back and said, what are you talking about? You already sent me this form letter. And then they sent me the same form letter back again. So, that was pretty much all they were going to do, was just keep sending that form letter. So eventually, Better Business Bureau closed the case and said that they, weren't able to resolve it. And that's where we're at right now, is that we can still purchase on Amazon, but we can't review anything, and we still haven't gotten back our gift card balance and our promotional credit balance, except for the $5. And, and what I explained in the claim that I filed with the Better Business Bureau is that it's actually more upsetting to me about the reviewing, because there's a lot of times if you have a problem with a purchase, the seller, and you write the seller and say, hey, will you, send us a replacement, a lot of times they won't reply. And if you leave a negative review, then they'll come up and say, hey, how can we solve your issue? you know, because we don't want this negative review, you know, and so that's you know, that's not being able to leave reviews means that sellers have no incentive to address issues, you know. So that's what upsets me more, because like I said, I've even had a seller recently, somebody sent me something and I was defective, and I was like, can you offer a replacement? And they're, you know, and nothing. And then I look at their reviews, and there's other people who've listed a negative review, and then the seller replies to the review and says, we're sending out a replacement, or we're, you know, email us to, you know, get the part you need or whatever. And then they follow up to their negative review and said, hey, the seller took care of it, you know. So again, it just means that we're not getting the same level of service that everybody else is getting despite paying the same amount. So, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do next. At some point, we'll probably close our Prime account and maybe open up a different one and start fresh. But you know, I hate to do that because we have so many years of history and so many years of purchases and everything like that, and that also is helpful. You know, it's frustrating that, like I said, other than that, we've had nothing but good customer service issues with Amazon. So it's very frustrating to continue to have that issue and for them not to address it. And I'll probably keep writing as I have time. I'll probably write, you know, Jeff Bezos email again. I'll probably write the Better Business Bureau again. I'll probably, you know, keep writing the live chat people, and maybe even include a copy of this video. And if the video gets enough attention, maybe that'll help. Yeah, I just wanted to alert. So, again, I suspect that what happened is it probably was because we were doing the Review Trader program, and we were probably doing it right up until, you know, they made it against the rules. I don't know that for sure because they never put those reviews back. So I don't actually know. But that's my guess. My guess is that we made some reviews before the policy changed that violated the new policy, and so whatever, you know, system they're using to catch reviews that were against the new policy after caught ours, even though they were older or something like that. That's my best guess. Either that or just whatever algorithm they're using to you know, to enforce their policy just is catching people who haven't done anything, you know. Because I certainly can't think of anything else that it would be. So now, I mean, it is definitely against the rules now, because there's still some sites out there that will offer you coupon codes for products in exchange for reviewing them, and that is definitely against the rules now, and they're definitely enforcing it. So if you're going to use a coupon code, don't review that product. You know, unless you don't care about having that privilege taken away, in which case, why would you review it in the first place? Because, yeah, I was, like, when they first took away the Review Trader thing, I was like, oh, that's too bad, because my wife was using that a lot, and I'd always wanted to look into using it and never got around to it. And, you know, there's definitely still sites like that out there, but they're not through Amazon anymore, because Amazon doesn't do it anymore. And like I said, it's now against the rules, and they are enforcing it. And like I said, some people have lost their whole accounts. Some people have had their account just wiped. Like, they go to log in, and it's like it doesn't even recognize their email address. Thankfully, that didn't happen to us. It still let us log in. It just, when we logged in, you know, Prime was gone, and all of our stuff was gone, except for our order history was still there. You know, so it could have been worse, but it was very frustrating that they put most of our reviews back and then took them away again. Like, what kind of stupid, you know, what possible reason is there for that, you know? I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna keep pursuing it, because we don't want to stop using Amazon if we don't have to. I mean, you could pretty much not do Amazon and just do eBay. They're very similar these days. You know, they both have a lot of drop ship stuff from drop ship. I don't know what I just said. You know, from other countries, like Chinese sellers can have stuff shipped. You know, they bring it here, and then Amazon ships it to your house, and so it's like ordering it from China, and you get the benefit of the price and the selection you get from ordering overseas, without actually, you know, having to wait Because if you order direct from China, like an Alibaba or AliExpress, you have to wait weeks or months to actually get the thing. And, it's become very popular. You can do that on eBay too. There's a lot of companies that do that. They have stuff where they import it here, and then you can buy it directly from them. And, it's a very good deal. Those pickups that I was talking about, Guitar Madness, they do something like that. That's on eBay and Reverb. It's definitely a thing. Like I said, eBay does it. You can still order direct from China on eBay too. Of course, with all the different things that's going on with trade, who knows if you'll even still be able to do that soon. There have been talks about putting tariffs on Chinese imports that would put people that import stuff from China out of business. So if that ends up happening, then that'll change everything. But for now, like I said, and as far as Amazon's concerned, other than that, we've had nothing but good experiences other than this. I've had plenty of things where I needed to return something or needed a refund, and sometimes they've given me the refund and said don't even bother returning the thing, which is really nice, because especially if it's broken, they're just going to throw it away anyway. So it kind of sucks that a lot of times you have to take the time and the energy and sometimes even the money to return something that's just going to go in the trash. So a lot of times, if you instead of going through the returns process, you live chat and ask a representative and say, hey, this didn't work for this reason or whatever. Sometimes they'll just say don't even worry about returning it, or we'll just send you a replacement, and that's very nice, because no one wants to make a trip to the post office if they don't have to. That's about it for me on this, and I will update the video if there's any progress. And there it is. That's our issue with Amazon. If you've had a similar issue, definitely comment and share. Or if you have any ideas on ways to address it, comment and share. And otherwise, I'll see you the next time I do a music or a sighting video.